Have you ever eaten a samosa, pakora, puri, fried chicken from a restaurant and wondered how many times that same oil has already been used? Imagine this, oil sitting in a large frying vessel for hours, hundreds of pieces of food go into it, oil starts getting darker, starts foaming and even sometimes smokes. But the frying continues. What happens to that oil inside your body? Does reheated oil really create harmful chemicals? Can it affect your cholesterol, liver, stomach? As a gastroenterologist, in this video I'll explain what repeated heating really does to the cooking oil. What you cannot see may be more important than what you can actually see. Before we talk about restaurants, samosas, street food, let's first understand what actually happens to the cooking oil when you heat it repeatedly. When fresh cooking oil is heated, it is exposed to high temperature, air, moisture from the food. That's normal. But when the same oil is heated again and again at high temperatures, the oil gradually starts to break down. The oil changes. It produces substances, what oxidation products, some of these chemicals known as aldehydes. You don't need to remember all these complicated names. The important point is these substances were not present in the same amounts in fresh oil. Longer the oil is kept hot, more often it is reheated, more food particles, moisture enters the oil, greater the chemical changes that happens. Imagine a busy Indian food outlet. In the morning, large quantity of oil is heated. Samosas, pakoras, vadas, puri, butter, all these keep on going in. More moisture enters, more food particles remain behind. The oil continues to be exposed to heat and air. Temperature keeps going up and down. Fresh oil may get added to the existing reheated oil. The process continues. Adding fresh oil to old oil doesn't reset the old oil. Once the oil has undergone chemical changes, those changes just don't simply disappear. So this is one reason repeated oil reuse is a genuine food safety concern. In India, the FSSA, the Food Standard Agency, uses a measure called total polar compounds or TPC to assess the deterioration of frying oil. So the permitted limit is 25%, beyond which the oil should not be used for preparing food. It's a food safety standard for how much frying oil can deteriorate before it should no longer be used. So when oil is repeatedly exposed to high heat, oxygen, some of the fats can break down, produce reactive chemicals, what I mentioned as aldehydes. Some of these chemicals can interact with the cells, increase what medically we call as oxidative stress. Think of it as a chemical stress inside the body. Our body naturally deals with certain amount of this stress every day, but we don't want to increase that stress through our food, especially on a regular basis. There is research that has raised concerns about the effects of these compounds produced during repeated heating of oil, including effects related to inflammation in the body, blood vessels, cellular damage. I want to make one thing clear. Eating one samosa fried in reused oil doesn't mean you're going to get cancer, heart disease, liver disease, or gut problems. The concern is repeated exposure over a period of time, especially when deep fried food becomes a regular part of your diet. So the video is not about frightening you, it's about helping you make the better choices. Many people ask, doctor, does reheated oil increase the bad cholesterol? It's not a yes or no answer. Your LDL, the bad cholesterol depends on many things. Your genetic material, your weight, physical activity, overall diet, and the amount of fat you consume. But repeated heating changes the fats in the oil and produces these oxidation products. There is research that has found regularly consuming these thermally damaged oils can have unfavorable effects on cholesterol metabolism, your blood vessels. So when we talk about reheated oil, it's about how much fat is there. We should also ask what is happening to the fat after being repeatedly heated. Now, the important part from the gut point of view is when you eat food prepared in these kind of repeatedly heated oils, some of these changed fats, oxidation products, they enter the digestive system. Our stomach and intestines are the first place to come in contact with what we eat. So there is research that suggests repeatedly heated oils can increase oxidative stress, that inflammatory changes in the gut may affect even the normal gut environment. We don't have enough scientific strong evidence to say reused oil directly causes particular gut disease in everybody. What I can say is regularly consuming fried foods, especially food prepared in degraded oil, can affect your long-term digestive as well as metabolic health. If you're already suffering from acidity, bloating, reflux, indigestion, large greasy meals, high fat meals, they can slow digestion. It can worsen your reflux, gastritis, IBS. Eating these kind of deep fried foods can significantly worsen your overall digestion. About the liver, many people with fatty liver worry. Liver plays a major role in processing fats and many substances that enter our body. There is studies involving this kind of experimental studies, repeatedly heated oils has found that there is changes in the liver related parameters. So fatty liver is much more, however, complicated. Excess calories, weight gain, diabetes, insulin resistance, your alcohol intake, your overall dietary pattern, all of this can contribute. But if you end up eating obviously large amounts of deep fried food, you're consuming more calories, more fats over a period of time. There is significant weight gain, the central weight, and increases the risk of fatty liver. It's not about one plate of pakoras you eat outside once in a while. Now, in India, this restaurant takeaway food, this is a big problem. You see this large vessel of oil being used continuously. The oil may look darker than the fresh. It may be foaming. It may have a strong smell. It may be even sometimes smoking. Can you look at the oil and tell, is it safe? Unfortunately not. Color and appearance alone cannot tell exactly how much the oil has deteriorated. But obviously, if you see persistently smoking oil, the excessive foaming, unpleasant smell, or visibly degraded, looking extremely dark, then you know there is a problem. Even in our own homes, if you're making puris, pakoras, bhaturas, there is oil left over, you filter it, you reuse it again, thinking it's okay. But don't make repeated reuse of frying oil as a routine. Never pour used frying oil back into the fresh oil. Keep used oil separate and dispose it off. There is another thing people often forget: smoking oil. If your oil starts smoking, overheated oil can produce irritating fumes and some volatile compounds that enter in the air. So if your kitchen is filling with smoke, turn down the heat, improve the ventilation. Your goal should be cooking the food, not to make the oil smoke. Someone might say, I use special oil that is very heat stable, so I can reuse it many times. Different oils behave differently when you heat, but no cooking oil should be treated as frequently reusable. Temperature matters, cooking time matters, the number of heating cycles matters, exposure to air matters, and the type of food that is being fried, that also matters. So you don't need to stop eating every samosa, occasional puri, occasional pakoras, bhatura for the rest of your. The goal is moderation. Make the deep fried food an occasional treat rather than a daily habit. Choose food outlets that appear clean, maintain sensible cooking practices. If you see the oil that is smoking, heavily foaming, or obviously quite dark, remember that this is not good. Even fresh oil doesn't make deep fried foods healthy. So what should you actually do? Eat fried food occasionally. Avoid repeatedly reheating even oil at home. Don't cook with oil that is smoking. Don't assume that adding fresh to the older reheated oil will make it better. And if you look at the oil that is dark, try and avoid it. Choose healthier fats in sensible quantities. Body doesn't require a perfect diet, but you need to have consistent eating habits. Remember one thing, eating once in a while some fried food is not going to be the problem. What you do day after day, week after week, that is actually more important for your liver, for your digestion, for your overall gut and metabolic health, rather than an occasional fried food once in a while. Thank you for listening.